Hello everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm your host, V Morticia, and today I'll be introducing you to Helheim. This world started out as just a place to put Hela, because frankly, hiding her in the basement of the royal palace seemed insufficient, given how thoroughly she had been erased from Asgard's history in the movies. But then I really got invested in the idea of, for want of a less terrible pun, fleshing out the realm of the dead. And it just kind of took on a life of its own, I guess. So first I'm going to introduce you to Adis. She's my NPC here. She's named after one of the Valkyr from World of Warcraft. And she has the profession Keeper of the Dead. She's basically both Hela's jailer and direct minion, depending on how you look at things. I figured someone like Hela wouldn't want to be bothered with the mundane tasks like guiding the dead to their afterlife. And someone needs to keep an eye on her to make sure she doesn't try to break out of Helheim and conquer the Nine Realms again. So Adis fills both of those roles in the story in my mind. I also kind of imagine she's been here forever, peacefully doing her job, and then Hela got banished, a few centuries ago? But yeah, let's take a look at the world itself now. With the exception of Hela's creepy castle, all of the structures on Helheim are basically the same little tomb-shaped huts. I modeled the design on the graveyard buildings and the Vault of Antiquity so that it's supposed to blend in with those. For individual houses, I've put these buildings on a 10 by 10 lot, and for community areas, I've lined them up in neat little rows like you can see here. To populate the graveyard with the ghosts that I wanted to see there, first I created a family for the Valkyrie, including Brunhilde, who's the one we see in the movies, so that the existing relationship will still be there between her and the ghosts. Then, I go over to the City Hall, where I select the NRAAS Master Controller. I go into Settings, and click the option to allow Add Sim on community lots. And that unlocks the option now if I go over to the graveyard and click the Master Controller again here. At the top you'll see Add Sim. Since the sim I want to move is in my current active family, I select Household out of this list. But if you just click the tick box without selecting anything in this list, it'll bring up every sim in your world to choose from. I have found that if you click more than one sim on this list, it can glitch and you can actually lose them. They disappear into the ether. So I tend to do it one at a time. You do have to manually tell them to go to the lot. They don't just magically teleport there, although you can tell them to if you have cheats on. And the final step here is to use Master Controller directly on the sim. Select Intermediate and Occult Add. And here you can choose how you want them to have died. Because these are the Valkyrie that were slain by Hela in battle, I've chosen Fall from the Sky, even though that's supposed to mean jetpack crash. It kind of looks like they had a fiery death, and I think that looks cool. Either way, you know? So here's my final graveyard, fully haunted by 5 Valkyrie and 4 Pegasi. The wings are downloadable items that fit in the saddle slot, so if somebody unsaddles the horse, they disappear, but that sort of kind of adds to the magic in my opinion. Yes, I chose 4 of them to emulate the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I even matched their color schemes. Normally, if a pet dies in the game, it either goes red like the one here, or a bright blue, but if you manually choose the method of death through the Occult Add option, it comes up any color you want it to. I've used the same method to add a vendor to the base camp area, which I've done my best to make it look like the entrance to the underworld as described in some Greek mythologies, the idea that you don't drink the water and that sort of thing. There's also a ship over here that's crashed, and well, that belongs to the vendor, as does the skeleton still at the wheel. If you remember back in episode 5, I said I didn't know how to have an NPC living on the lot like this. Well, I figured it out since I recorded that, and this is the result. I've given him a little bed and bathroom here to use so that I don't know if he will. I mean, I never see these NPCs not standing at their cash registers unless they're running around like headless chicken idiots, because they do that too, but I don't see them actually going to the bathroom or sleeping. It's slightly weird. So the final commercial lot in this world, you saw it briefly earlier, it's basically all the rabbit hole buildings in a neat little row of pretty tombs. You've got the city hall, a custom day spa, a movie theater, groceries, and bookstore. I chose these because the only careers anyone's using in this world are the one at the graveyard and the custom monarch career that operates out of the city hall. The city hall is basically an essential thing, but everything else is optional. And I figured the spa and movie theater to entertain Her Royal Highness. Now, when I built this lot, there were death flowers on it, but I can't find them now. There is the Weatherstone there, though, and because I've made Hela a vampire, she can cast the obscuring fog ability using that, which is kind of cool looking, and it blocks out the sky. It's very fitting for this world, in my opinion. So to finish up this week, I'm going to leave you with a quick run through of the build video for these little tomb structures. And that's it for today. Next week I'll be doing the build video for the palace here in Helheim. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me.